All right, iOS learners, let's get to work. So as we know, there have been quite a few changes in the past week due to current situation. And what all of you ladies and gentlemen should realize, this is going to be quite common when you're at work. There are going to be power failures and network failures and supply line disruptions. And you're going to have to pick up the ball and run with it when everything's not working exactly right. So just treat this as an exercise in disaster preparedness and disaster recovery. We've been thinking about how to accommodate your labs and your learning. And many of you do have MacBooks, which is great. If you do not have a MacBook, an alternative is MacInCloud. So you're going to have to go ahead and get yourself set up with an account. So you can go here and say, sign up now. And I just did it myself. I really like it. I'm very impressed with it. And it's another skill in your portfolio, right? So mention that in your resume, your LinkedIn, that you're used to working with cloud services such as MacInCloud. And the account you're going to want to go with, in my opinion, the best one is the managed server account, which is $20 a month. If you want to play around with the pay-as-you-go one, that's fine. Basically, whatever gets you in there is fine. So you're going to go ahead and fill in all of the information. I've already done that, so I'm not going to do it again. If you have any questions, just let me know. We can jump onto a Google Hangouts call or something. I can talk you through that. So as soon as you sign up, you're going to get an email that looks like this. And the most important thing you want to do right here, you see you have a zip file. So you download that zip file, and it's going to give you a bunch of remote desktop script files that you can click on. Also, your information, your username and your password is going to be in that email as well, so keep that handy. And once you get that zip file, you're going to unzip it. You see here you have remote desktop. So choose an image. I guess go for the biggest one your monitor will support. I'll do 1900 by 1080. Then you're going to get into there. If you have a VPN running, you may need to disable it. I had to do that in my case. So that's just your Windows firewall sending you a warning. So click on Connect. Then here you're going to go and enter your username and password as you got in your email. Now notice here that you're in a Windows Remote Desktop panel. It's like Telnet, if you remember the old Telnet. So Alt-Tab is not going to get you anywhere, but you can actually click and drag that out of the way if you need to go and access the rest of your desktop. So you go and look at your email, maybe, I don't know, write it down on a slip of paper or something. So you enter that information in here. Then once you've gotten there, you go ahead and click on the enter button. It's going to authenticate for a couple of seconds, and you will now be given access to a Mac desktop, right? And it's pretty nice. It's going to take maybe a couple of seconds of getting used to sort of working with the Windows Remote Desktop, but you guys will get that very quickly. So just waiting for it to sign in. And we see it's left me off. Now here's one thing that's important. When you're done, do not just close your Windows Remote Desktop. You actually want to go here and say logout user. Because if I just closed my desktop and I did not log out, it would still be chewing up my hours, right? My 20 hours a month or whatever it is that I bought. So make sure you do a proper logout from your Mac, just like you were firing down your Mac computer. And after that, it's going to automatically close your Windows Remote Desktop. Do not close Windows Remote Desktop without doing this procedure because you don't want to burn up your hours. All right, so let's get to work. Now, here's how we're going to have to do it. Now, you're going to be working with Xcode 10.0. That's the one that works well in this situation. So let's see how we do that. Let's get to our Finder. Yeah, so you just go and find Xcode 10. Not 10.1 or anything else like that. You can actually go and experiment around with it. If you ask for another Xcode like 10.2 or something, it'll prompt you for an admin password because it wants to install components, and we do not have that password. But we can work on it on 10.0, no problem. So there you go. And after that, it's pretty much whatever you're used to, right? It's your experience we've had in the lab. I know we've been working on Xcode 10.4, but you're not going to see much of a difference here. So let's show you how easy it is. So we'll make a new project. Now, I know some of you are wondering, well, how am I going to submit my work if I can't stick a USB key into the back of the computer? In my opinion, the simplest way is just go to a browser, open your email, and email yourself the zip file. I mean, there's Dropbox. You can use Google Drives as well, but I don't know, like email is the fastest and simplest. If you have any questions, just let me know. We're going to have a lot of provisions. I'm going to be doing virtual office hours, so there'll be times I'll be available on a Google call. You can just send me an email first, make sure I'm ready to receive the call. But I will be available on quite a frequent basis for just sort of virtual calls with screen sharing and so on to step you through any of your problems. So we go here, let's make a simple single view app. So we say next, and then just give it some name. Now, one thing you will notice, it is going to prompt you for your Apple ID and user, your account password, just because it associates your developer account with that. So just have that handy. And now we'll go and say next. And it's exactly the same experience as in the classroom, right? Maybe a bit slow. Maybe if you're on a slower network connection, it's possible it might be, but I don't know, just deal with it. So then we say create. And after that, it's everything you're used to, right? So just let's set up a really simple app here just to step ourselves through it. So you guys know what to do. First, I want to go to my storyboard. As I say, see, there might be a little bit of latency, but I don't know, nothing that's going to hurt you. So we'll get our storyboard. And let's go to our object library. Object library, right? A couple of you missed that on the test. And let's throw some stuff on there. And let's get a label. And a button and a text field. I think that's enough to make a nice basic app with. And you know what to do next. We're going to open our assistant editor, so everything's exactly the same. Let's create some interface builder outlets. As always, make sure you have enough blank space because that connector line does seem to magnetically jump, to the nearest bracket. Maybe that's a place you don't want it to go. You might wind up inside a function or something, so set the enter key a couple of times. And you know what to do. Everything's the same. So control, click, drag with your mouse. And keep a good naming convention. Call it label A for right now. As always, don't forget the basics. Make sure you're coming off the right type, and we'll say connect. See, again, a bit of latency, but I don't know, just deal with it. And here we have a text field, so hold the control key, click, and drag. And also, let's do something with our view. We were talking about view in the lab, image view. So you know that we need an image for that, right? So let's go and get an image. You have a browser, go to your own Dropbox or Google or email. I've already downloaded some images, so you remember, right? We go here to our assets and we drag it over there. So I'm going to find Finder. And you see, once again, a little bit of latency on the screen redraw, but just deal with it. So here I put some images here in download, so I'm going to click and drag them over. Drop them into my assets. And yeah, all that looks good, so say finish. And I'll maximize this again. Now what do I need to go back to? My storyboard. So make sure my UI image view is selected. Going to get over here to image, and there is the image I just brought over to my assets. So I'll select that one image for right now because I want to get this done quickly, because I just want to show you guys how to use this tool. And let's go and access our button. And I'm just going to write some information of the text field in the label. And again, the only purpose of this is to demonstrate this works exactly the same as what you're seeing in the lab. So how do I do that? I find the IBO outlet for my label. So we'll say label. Let's put a little message in there. I mean, if I wanted to be more fancy, I could get the contents of the text field and write it here, but we'll do that later as a lab. So we'll say text field. Oh, you guys saw what I did, right? Because I was thinking about the video instead of this. I made text field a action instead of a outlet. I'm not going to spend time on that right now. Just want to draw this to a close. So right now I'm just working with my label. And anything else? Well, let's go and give it a test. So test works exactly the same. There's the simulator. And everything is as expected. So suppose I wanted to keep this work to bring it to my own machine or to hand it in or something. You would simply do find, locate in Finder, zip. Then you'll have a zip file. Then you email or Dropbox or Google Drive it to yourself. So there it goes. Everything is fine except I didn't make my label big enough. So let's kill the simulator. And I guess we've got another couple of minutes, so let's see if we can fix this up a tiny bit. Let's get rid of that. And I'm going to make my label bigger so stuff doesn't get bitten off. Now let's see if we can go back and fix up this little issue that I made here. So hopefully everybody remembers how to do that. Where am I going to go next? That's right, to my connection manager. See, everything's exactly the same. And I'm going to find my connection. There it is. See, when I hover over it, it fires up over there. Now I look over here and I see text field. See? So let's get rid of that. Actually, let's go and study it in the source code again for a minute. So there's my text field, and that's obviously wrong. Why? Well, it has a function that makes it an action. It does not have a var, and var is what I need if I want to write to it. That's okay, because we know how to fix that. It happens. So let's go back to here. Now, we said in lab this stuff is all context sensitive, right? If you do not see what you're expecting to see, you haven't clicked on the right context, the right element. So I did not see my connections, and I clicked on the text field. There it is. So you know what to do. Hit that X. Now it's all gone. Only now do I go here and erase that. And let's do this again, and let me pay attention properly. So Control drag. Here's the thing which I messed up on before. I forgot to change that to outlet. And type is UI text field. That's good. And we have observed that when you make an action, it defaults to any. When you make an outlet, it does not seem to have that problem. It's not bad to pay attention to it anyway, though. So here I'm just going to call it text field A, and everything else is proper. So let's go back to my button. And let's say text field A dot text property, and we'll dump a little message in there. anything else? Well, that's probably enough for right now. So I'm just going to save it and do one more run to verify, using it and then pulling it down. Anyway, here's my app. So hit the button, and that's pretty good. Again, I need to fix up the sizing, but it does the job for right now. So I'm going to wrap up this video and kick it out, and I'm going to strongly encourage you to invest in a MacInCloud account and have it ready for the lab tomorrow. Right, so this is Wednesday, and we're going to have a lab tomorrow, and we're going to be working on this stuff. So instructions on how to access your lab via our new online collaborative tooling will be coming out in a little while. So just expect it to be your normal class time, except you will be doing it from home on a network connection. So that's it. Any questions, send me an email, or well, I guess that's the best way for right now. I'm going to have some virtual office hours as well. Still good to send me an email in advance as well, so I know your call is coming in. And be in touch if you have any questions. And you guys should just know, and you ladies should know, everybody in the faculty and the administration, we care, right? We're very serious to make sure your quality of education is not impinged by this. So we're doing everything we can. And, you know, let's just all work together, and we'll do a great job on getting you to learn all this stuff as well, or maybe even better than if this little unfortunate situation hadn't have come up. So here you see, before I leave, I'm going to go here and say logout user. And then it's killing my Windows remote terminal, but the next time I log back in, right, it's like if I left the computer in the lab when I